I mean, I have 160 plus mechs now, I think.
Yeah. You're rapidly approaching 200.
And the thing is, it's over almost 40 of them, if not 40 of them, are assault, and over 50 of them, almost 60 of them, are heavy. So
Like,
at least, what, about 2/3 of my force? So yeah, we get to keep going.
woo!
That first mission only took 20 minutes.
Unlike the damn Red Hunt.
Unlike the Red Hunt.
Good God, the Red Hunt.
Good? It was a good flashpoint.
It was. It was
I hated the first mission.
It was a great flashpoint. It was just intense.
Yes, it was. That was a lot of 100-ton mechs that kept dropping on us. And again, once again, I'd like to thank the generosity of the Draconis Combine for their donation of the Annihilator and the Atlas.
Yeah, I'm sure Supash Indrahar won't be pissed off that we stole some of his mechs. And I'm sure Duke Ricol was not planning our downfall.
Yeah, I'm sure Duke Ricola was Ricola did not hear anything about the losses.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, let's do this.
This is straightforward so far. I don't trust it a single bit.
Neither do I.
Roger that. Moving out.
And unlike good old Bob, I think if Liao decided to screw us over, I don't think our liaison here would be nearly as forgiving of us for blowing them up.
Again, Marina Liao is always straightforward about the fact that she is willing to screw you over.
Yeah.
Because everything she does is for the state. She does not pretend to be your friend, unlike friggin' Cunningham, who will screw you over and be annoyed that you're annoyed about being screwed over.
I went up the rock. I could not see that was a rock there.
Copy that. I've got a sensor
So
trace.
what do we got? There's a Highlander. There's a 40-ton mech.
Oh good! You know how much I love those.
Oh yeah. Okay, there's a 40-ton pile of soon-to-be scrap. I get it, but still.
There are actually 40-ton mechs I like. They're not in this game, though. Like, there's a specific version of the Hermes 2 I like. I'm weirdly fond of the Clint, even though it's not a good mech.
That's a catapult.
Oh.
That's an assassin.
Assassin, I credit you for not being a cicada or a volt. Congratulations.
Waiting for orders.
Let's see, and do I have... I'm gonna have to climb over there, aren't I?
Up high.
This ain't the greatest place for the McMurder, but all the forest is over here. Show me a potato!
Target confirmed.
Nope.
Ah, that was a lot of damage reduction.
It
I was
also
really
only hit one thing in the head.
Good to
Damn
go.
it. I was really hoping to potato a Highlander. Because I love the Highlander, and that would have been it.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Okay, so the Highlander just got fired on twice, and it walked around
Not
and hit the
much
missile
armor left
boat.
in that location.
Odd choice. Oh, you almost took off the armor, even if you only hit one thing there.
Okay.
That finished it off.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Bonk.
Orders. Moving out.
And that takes the big piece off the field. I mean, we've still got a catapult there, and we've still got heavy LRM turret and a heavy laser turret to deal with. You know what?
Taking
Let's see if we can take out the turret. Yep,
Okay.
that's just less LRMs headed in my general direction.
And that makes me feel better about life.
Boy, they do not like the Genesis right now.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
What
They
do they
are-
have against? What do they have against 16-bit processing?
They're
I'm
Nintendo
under
fans.
heavy fire.
Our system has better JR.
The Nintendo has all the good JRPGs.
No,
I-
they have most of them.
I don't... what? Phantasy Star 4 was probably the only really good one
How's it
that...
going?
And Shining Force, and I've
That's
heard
not
good
a
things.
that's not a JRPG though. That's a strategy game.
It has RPG elements.
RPG elements, but it's not a JRPG.
I've also heard good things about Sword of Vermilion. I do actually for that. I've never actually played it. My Genesis is currently unplugged, and I'm debating on
Targeting
selling
down
it.
the stretch.
There's a potato.
One less target.
We just took some PPCs off the board.
I'm good
Waiting
with
on
that.
you, Commander. You betcha.
So just because I'm going to want to hit these... Yeah, I'm going to want to hit that eventually. But right now, the assassin is in range.
Sensors locked on.
That would be the turret, I believe.
Yeah. I will say, as good as Phantasy Star 4 is, and Phantasy Star 4 is a good JRPG, I wouldn't say it's as good as most of the RPG entries on the SNES. Granted, it has a very different feel from those ones in general. It's definitely a lot more anime. So
Yep.
Enemy mech destroyed.
And don't get me wrong, Shining Force 2 is a good game. It's just nothing I would qualify as
Waiting
a
for
JRPG.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like Shining Force 2. I got to play it on a friend's Genesis when they had Sega Channel.
Wow. Like I never knew anyone who actually had Sega Channel because that was way ahead of its time.
Hard to get the Toe Jam and Earl theme out of your head once you've played Sega Channel, because they used it on all the damn menus.
What's up, boss?
Yep.
Roger that.
And that was all the Sega Channel menus got that exact. Of course, I did also play some really, really bad games on Sega Channel.
Sega was willing to release pretty much anything. Like when Nintendo tended to play it a little safer in general. So like I feel like most of the Nintendo games across the are solid. When a Sega Genesis game is good, it tends to be on fire. When it's bad, oh boy!
Do you want to take a guess at any of the really bad games I would have played?
Let's see here. Bad Sega Genesis game. Anything
they weren't necessarily exclusive to the Sega Genesis, but they put them up on Sega Channel anyway.
Let's see here. Anything with Simpsons in the title. Bubsy was terrible.
Surprisingly, no, those weren't on Sega Channel.
I'm tempted to look up what games were on Sega Channel. Just so I have... List of games on Sega Channel.
Or at least if the Simpsons games were on there, I don't remember seeing them. But then again, it wasn't my Genesis, wasn't my dorm
Heavy
room.
hits, Commander.
And yes, we did this while we were at college.
Let's see here. Sega Channel.
I caught.
Okay, so 50 games, titles would rotate. So, Sonic and Knuckles, Eternal Channel, demos.
You're clear to proceed to your next objective.
Yeah, it doesn't list anything that was explicitly on Sega Channel. I know a couple of games were exclusive to Sega Channel, looking at you, Wily. Okay, That's right, Battletoads was on there. Battletech was on there.
Another good game that was on there, Exo Squad.
Exo Squad is one of those things I...
It's like a fever dream because you remember it existing, but no one else does, so... The only problem Exo Squad had is it made the freaking characters just too damn big. It made the characters so big, you could barely maneuver on screen.
Coordinates received.
Like, I remember the TV show existing, but at the time I didn't have cable, so I never watched it. Like, I remember seeing, like, there was a TV show in toys, and I'm like, that looks cool! I'll never see it, cause we only get, like, the Fox
Waiting
network.
for orders.
So, some days we got ABC, if we're lucky.
So, any guesses on what game... There's one specifically I'm thinking of.
There are just so many bizarre games on here. What was it?
Balls 3D. Yes! That's about the right reaction.
Multiple targets.
Fighting at its ballsiest. Let's see here. It's a 2 point...
Target destroyed.
By...
Standing
Developed by PF Magic, really?
by. Roger.
Oh my god... Really? So I'm familiar with PF Magic for entirely different reasons.
One less turn.
But so Balls 3D was apparently a terrible game. But PF Magic reused their graphic technology from Balls 3D for the things I'm familiar with. For dogs, cats, and oddballs.
Looks like enemy reinforcements.
I'm not drunk enough for this conversation. So they had this shitty fighting game, and they used the technology from that to make virtual pets. This is a thing that is a sentence I just said.
Yes, it is. And see, the thing is, most people have never heard of Balls 3D because why would you
I
have?
hear ya.
There's literally no reason to have ever heard of Balls 3D because it was one of the worst fighting games in existence.
Which is impressive, because during the early and mid-90s, thanks to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, everybody was hopping in on the... And a lot of them weren't good.
No, this was one of the truly bad ones because, well, your character models are made of nothing but loosely connected spheres,
Roger that.
or balls, because, of course. Your character models are made of nothing but this, and they try to make them jump, stretch, squish.
Target's taking a critical
Some of
hit.
them carry things that could be mistaken for weapons on a good day. So hitboxes were there?
Good to go.
I mean, if you ever get the chance, try to... I mean, you'd probably have to emulate it by now, because I really doubt anyone's selling the thing anywhere.
Copy that.
I mean, Nintendo has been putting a lot of weird shit on Switch Online. Just
Nobody's
saying.
going to put balls on there. I'm just going to say nobody will do that. There's literally no reason for them to do that. And yeah, just before we were about to step on the base, the reinforcements decided to show up.
Because of course they did.
Yep.
Incidentally, I gave up on the Willy Beamish LP I was watching.
Really?
Waiting for orders.
The LP itself was fine.
Oh yeah, it's just the game is absolutely horrible.
Yeah. But, like, the fact that I hate all of the characters is bad enough, but the loading on the Sega CD version is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, anytime you do anything in that game, loading for like 10, 15 seconds. I don't know how Frank-O-Matic got through that LP. I feel like
Position confirmed.
I owe him a beer.
This-
And I
Okay,
apologize.
so Frank-O-Matic grew up with the Commodore 64.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, he grew up with the Commodore 64, so load
Target
times,
self-destruct.
that's nothing.
Enemy down.
And trivia for you, he was the first Let's Player I ever watched.
See, the first one I really watched was Caden Jensen. They were going under a different name at
Yes,
that.
Commander.
She was going under a different name by that point. Say,
Affirmative.
But yeah, I was introduced to the concept of Let's Plays because Frank-O-Matic
Nothing, you hear
Let's
me?
Played the Super Nintendo version.
I hear ya.
Okay, hang on, I've got to make you guess this one just because.
the Super Nintendo. There are so many ways this could go horribly wrong.
Huh?
I'm gonna say Shadowrun.
No, because I like the Super Nintendo Shadowrun. I've
Okay.
Let's Played that one.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
that's
tempted to-
Battlemaster over there.
Ooh. I'm tempted to grab my big book of SNES games, which I wrote an entry for, I think.
Okay, it's a port
Ready.
of an arcade game.
Oh god. Oh god. There are so many ways this could go horribly.
And it's easily considered one of the worst games on the Super Nintendo.
Worst SNES games. Okay, I'm assuming it's not Shaq Fu.
No, it's not Shaq Fu.
Let's see here. I'm assuming it's not Frogger.
No, Frogger was...
Damage is minor,
Me.
Commander.
Don't get me
Oh!
wrong, Shaq Fu was bad, but it wasn't bad like this.
3D Bowls is on this list.
Yep, that's the Genesis thing, so...
Yeah. Captain Novaland. Okay, whatever it is, it's not on this particular list. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Different list. No, I don't think it would be that.
Remember, arcade
Order
port.
received.
Yeah, I'm...
Fire. Think I hit something good.
That was a Laserdisc port.
Is that it?
Trying to think of
Barely
what
scratched.
terrible... And I'm also trying to think of, like, what you would watch, but then again, this would have been, like, 10, 15 years ago, so... My god, there are a lot of weird-ass games on the SNES, which isn't
Yes,
shocking.
Okay, cross-reference that with hardest SNES games.
Confirm.
Okay.
I copy.
That was an arcade. I don't think it would have been that, although it possibly could have been. Because that one didn't have an arcade. Well, that one...
Enemy mech.
I don't think it was Battletoads and Battlemania.
No, that wasn't a bad game, though.
Yeah.
Standing by.
I copy.
Weirdly, I'm not seeing overlap, and that confuses me.
Okay,
Coordinates received.
so look up... I need to look up a date for this, don't I? I don't remember when that game
Mission
was actually
successful.
introduced in arcades.
Arcade ports SNES. Let's see here. That were absolutely perfect? No, that's not what... List... Okay. That... Worst arcade ports SNES. What was it? Like, I'll bite. What was it?
Space Ace.
Oh, it's on the list, and I thought, oh, it's Laserdisc, not arcade.
That, yes, it was one of the Don Bluth
Yeah.
Laserdisc games in the style of Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, it was the sci-fi one, but it,
Mm-hmm.
from what I understand, it was terrible.
Yes! Yes, it was!
Yeah.
It was. I liked the arcade because I liked the cartoon a lot more than I did in Dragon's Lair.
Mhm.
But on the SNES, God, that is the worst freaking game I've ever seen.
So for... I can't even finish that sentence.
No, I'm never playing it.
On Star's channel, because apparently I want my girlfriend to kill me.
If you guys can finish it,
There, I was telling her about the Willie Beamish LP I was watching, and like I jokingly suggested playing it, and then like halfway through the LP, I'm like, please don't. And, like, when I told her I gave up, she's like, it's a good thing we're not touching that game with a 10-foot pole then.
But no, Space Ace in the arcade was a fun little quick time event of a game.
Yeah.
Space Ace on the SNES,
The thing about, like, arcade games at that time was, like, the technology for dedicated arcade cabinets was better than what most home consoles could pull off.
yep, and it stayed that way until the 90s.
Yeah. Like, once the N64 and, like, the Saturn came out, you could start getting comparable and better things at home. But, like,